Yeah, right there, right there. That's the thing. We're going off of that. Okay. I'll probably edit this, so I'll deal with this later. Anyways, welcome, internet people, to Two Guys, One Mug, best name in the podcast game. I am one of your pimps. It's Dmaster, and I am joined with...
Who's
And I'm joined with...
like you gotta introduce us first in order for us to go, yes.
Okay.
I am one of your many pimps. It's Dmaster, and I am joined with Core Ideas.
Hello,
And-
everybody.
And
And
regular
and
coffee
jailbait,
mug.
yeah.
God, are we establishing that right now? Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
we're gonna
right out.
All right.
Pretty much get it
All right.
over with.
Just in case someone tries to expose us. You listening, Keemstar? We're not. She told us her age. We warned her the consequences. But
I think I warned you of the consequences, but I mean,
I was about to say, it's about the other way around.
that is true. So today we are going to be talking about E3, the biggest marketing ploy
The biggest
In the gaming
comedy
industry.
show.
Yes.
Come on, you cannot tell me that E3 is not just like one of the best comedy series of all time.
Yeah.
I don't know how long you guys have been following E3 for, because I remember.
There's so much cringe.
Yeah, pretty much. I've been following it. I think since like 2005 or so. And...
Aisha Tyler's existence. That's all I need to
You
say.
guys want to make a meme? You guys wanna
Aisha
make a meme?
Tyler at Ubisoft.
Well, the thing is, I
Oh, wait.
feel so bad for her because she's usually really good on what's that show called? Whose Line Is It Anyway? You know, she's
Yeah.
a good moderator and everything. It's just, I guess, Ubisoft is like, we gotta be hip with today's youth. What are they like? Them memes?
The memes. She ironically
no.
said memes. I remember like a while back there was like this one Halo, like it was one of the promotional teasers for Halo Reach where Aisha Tyler was like the narrator. She's like, "Hey guys, I'm gonna teach you all you need to know to be hip and cool in the Halo Reach."
And I'm
Oh
just
my
like,
god.
Who is
Ooh.
this? Who
Oh,
is this
no.
woman? Why does she have a job? And I'm kidding.
Well, I guess they finally figured out that it wasn't working because Ubisoft ended up having what is unanimously apparently declared the best conference of the show.
Ooh, I mean,
You like that segue?
ooh,
You like it?
that's a nice segue.
so I guess if we're going in chronological order, we have to start with my home turf, Microsoft.
boy.
I'm guessing you're in Seattle then?
Well, no, I'm in Los Angeles. I said home turf because
Oh,
Halo.
Close enough.
Close enough. Yeah, sure. Let's go with that. So Microsoft. So what?
Meh. Just meh.
Okay,
Can we start off with the disgusting name?
yeah.
Ugh.
Okay.
The Xbox One X.
Yeah. So let's give some context. So for over, I'd say about what, a good 6 months to a year. No, since last year's E3, they
Yeah.
teased
Yes.
what was then called Project Scorpio, and that just brings up the whole topic of how usually the project names are always cooler than the actual console.
Yeah.
Yeah, Project
Yeah.
Scorpio is actually cooler than
Anybody
Xbox.
remember what the Wii was called? It was called the Revolution.
And then we got the fucking
that's-
Wii.
that
We were
sound-
like, what?
That sounds so edgy. Why didn't we get that name?
Well, I get it from a marketing standpoint because their marketing with the Wii pretty much was one of the biggest reasons why that console sold so well. Because we play together. You know, it was a dumb name when you said it on its own, but with that marketing, it fucking skyrocketed.
Yeah, the Wii did numbers, which reminds me of another console recently debuted, which is doing numbers despite having one game.
Which one?
One.
The Switch.
All right,
Yeah.
Zelda. Like,
Oh,
yeah. Well, I
boy.
mean, if you're gonna have one game, that's the game to have.
Yeah,
makes sense.
without a doubt.
Like, it is.
Yeah.
But no, the Project Scorpio was then revealed to be the Xbox One X. And I
Oh.
think the collective thought.
Oh, can I say the thing I told you guys on the chat?
Yeah, go ahead.
So the reason why it's called Xbox One X You take the X, you take the B from box, you take the O from one, and then you put the X. It just spells out Xbox again.
Oh, shit.
And then what was that thing? It's like the joke is that it's come full circle. One could say 360 degrees.
Oh my god.
It's just like how can a console title be simultaneously the dumbest thing I've ever heard, yet when you really think about it, is secretly genius?
It's only genius for Microsoft because they're circle jerking like, yo, this would be the best name ever. It spells out Xbox.
Yo.
And they're like, oh, Xbox, guess what? That's a hint. We're bringing back original Xbox games.
That wasn't a great segue,
I mean, you
but
gotta admit, like, as dumb as the name is, they have a consistent theme.
yeah.
It does make sense to them,
Yeah.
and it kind of makes sense to us. Kind of.
But I still don't like the name.
No, God, no.
No one likes the name. No one.
Just call it Xbox 2, TWO.
That won't
Should've been
confuse anybody.
Xbox 2 Electric Boogaloo. But, you know, I guess you go with the Xbox One S, and then it goes in the Xbox One X, and it's so difficult, especially with my dumbass speech impediment with the lisp and everything. Like, it's gonna be so difficult for me to be able to tell you.
Xbox One. No, I was already like thinking of iPhone logic when they announced the Xbox One S. Now they're doing this. I'm like, oh my god, it's X, is S. I need an adult.
When you really think about it, it looks like the console generation. Somebody brought this up. I don't know if it was in a video or I read it in a thread, but it kind of makes sense when you really think about it that we're reaching a point of graphical fidelity and, you know, technology that it's no longer going to be as big a jump as it was when it went from 2D to 3D, from standard definition to high definition, and from, you know, 720p to 1080p and everything like that, into 4K. Like, there's really not going to be that much of a leap from now on. So it's going to be kind of like phones. Like, how many times have you guys, like, Dutchy, like, how many times have you changed your phone in the last couple of years?
Probably like twice, I'd say. Not much. Yeah, not very much.
Same.
Yeah, so, and same here. I think I've probably changed, because I don't, like, unless it's broken or something, I don't go out and actively look for a new phone. So, when you really think about it, that's pretty much how consoles are going to be from now on. It's not going to be, you know, the PlayStation, it's not going to be the Xbox, whatever. Somebody thought Xbox Wonder. That would have been kind of a cool name.
Oh my god.
Like, wonder about this and stuff like that. That could have been a cool marketing.
Xbox Wonder. You just see sprinkles and all the
Confetti.
the conferences. So I'll give it to Sony. Their theatrics were on point even though their audio crashed for like the first
I
20
heard
minutes.
about that.
No, it was hilarious.
That was bad. I thought it was me. I kept like, I was streaming on Chromecast. I kept unplugging it and reply. I was like, wait, no, it's just Sony.
Yeah, I think you guys know this. I was in a movie theater watching it being streamed with a whole crowd of people, and when it started, we're all just going, change the volume! Like, it was so great to have everybody there just making fun of Sony, and then when it finally came on, everybody was just clapping and cheering, and I think I heard somebody go, fucking finally!
Yeah, we got working audio. Let's go. Yeah, woo!
Yeah, that's pretty much how it went, but I think that just brings up an interesting point where it's no longer going to be giant console leaps. We're no longer going to get, you know, from an Xbox 360 to an Xbox One. It's just going to be in the Xbox One family.
Yeah. There is no next generation. It's just upgrades.
Yeah.
It's just they're all just turning into PCs that you have to eventually. They're just turning into iPhones. There's no point in buying
The
a new
world's
one.
most powerful console is turning into a PC.
Basically.
The world's most powerful console, and yet most of the games don't run at 60 frames per second.
Oh, that was annoying. When I read about that, I was pissed. I was like, 4K and still 30 FPS. Okay.
But guys, it's small though. It's small. Have you seen
It's
it?
literally the Xbox One S.
But it's small though, guys. But it's small though.
That 4K, man. That
4K, them 30 FPS 4K,
that 4K Minecraft. Man, oh man, can't wait.
Best announcement of Microsoft's entire conference, to be honest.
Oh man, No, but like that brings up an interesting point. Do you think, like Dmaster, will start you, like, do you think, oh god, I hate that car, it's been going off all day. Do you think that the companies are more focused on the resolution than the actual frame rate? And if so, do you think that's ever going to change?
Microsoft, yes. Other companies, I'm not so sure. Microsoft, judging from the games, quote unquote, yeah, Microsoft has kind of always been about that. Except because remember when the Xbox One first announced, like, oh, we're revolutionizing gaming, we're pushing it into an all online market. They did that way too early. Mm-hmm. They were like, oh, the Xbox One requires online. Oh, who remembers that the old, before Phil Spencer became the
head of Microsoft, the old guy?
Yeah. It was an interview where it's like, how do you feel about soldiers who can't play online? He's like, well, there's a console for that. It's called the Xbox 360. I was like, oh my god.
I never seen somebody lose their job on live TV before.
And then that happened. Yeah, that was funny. Oh, and who remembers the how Sony combated Microsoft at their conference when they said, "Here's how you share games on PS4. Turns to friends, get hands game. Thanks."
I remember seeing that when I didn't actually see the conference, unfortunately, and I know that was put on YouTube afterwards, but I didn't see the conference until I got home from college, and I just remember watching that trailer and just going, I think I just saw a company verbally bitch smack another company.
Yeah.
And it was done so effortlessly.
Yeah. I mean, I like Halo and stuff, but I have to admit.
No,
I mean,
it's a big problem these days because, everybody's clamoring. I'm pretty sure, like, everybody that I know and everybody that I've read is clamoring for 60 frames per second. If the 4K is fine and all, but we want our games to run as smooth as possible. Hack and slashers, fighting games, things that are necessary to have 60 frames per second. And yet they constantly keep going for resolution over frames per second, and it just keeps on infuriating people. Like, Dutchy, what's one game that you think is necessary for 60 frames per second? A game that you love that if it was 30 frames, you would just be like, no, I can't play this.
I don't know. Like, for example, Skyrim, without a doubt, I feel like is one of those games that you want to run at 60 FPS. Or I have the Nintendo Switch, so I've been playing Breath of the Wild. It runs at 30 FPS, and sometimes it even drops lower to that. And it really pisses me off because, it might be in 1080p, but honestly, it should be running at 60 FPS. But, people go for resolution over FPS, and it is what it is, I guess. I mean,
that one's a little bit like, I kind of understand, like, there's a little bit of leeway because they're like, the Switch is the Switch.
Yeah,
they're still trying to figure
it's
that whole thing
Nintendo,
out.
but
like
like for Microsoft and Sony, like, come on now, like, you should
Sony's
probably
actually
be
the
trying
one
to
that seems be
compensate.
doing better though.
Yeah.
Like,
oh yeah,
Sony's actively pushing for. Well, I
Games.
wouldn't say actively, but games. Yeah.
Games.
But from what I've seen, Sony's platform seems to, especially with the whole boost mode thing and everything, they seem to be focusing on performance rather than just simply graphical fidelity and resolution and everything. Like, do you guys own a PS4 or anything?
I do, but I don't play on it very often, so
I'm debating about getting one because when we get to the Sony conference, then I'll fanboy about it. But I guess we could segue into the actual quote unquote games that Microsoft had.
I don't even remember. The only one that I vividly remember from Microsoft's conference was Anthem.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that one looks interesting. But then I saw a couple people tweet on Twitter. I saw Racevic tweet like, "Oh, this game, calling it a new game."
Yeah,
We'll see.
I get what he's saying. Like, all praise to Razovic, but but it does look very similar to the Division, Destiny. It obviously EA looking at Destiny and going, we want a piece of that pie.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely looks like Destiny, Division, and Mass Effect had a threesome and then somehow had a child. So, I don't know.
And then the child got shipped to Pandora from Avatar.
Yeah.
That's basically what that game looks like.
Pretty much. I'm a little confused on how exactly, like, the first-person view is gonna work, because they.
Oh, there's a. I didn't even notice that. I thought it was third person the whole time.
Well, no, like at the beginning of the video, it shows. It looks like when you're in a central hub, you know, in these towns or whatever, it's a first-person view, and you can accept quests and stuff like that.
Oh.
And then you hop into your suit, and then the suit goes out, and you know your class is tied to your suit, so you don't have to. If you want to be like, I don't know what classes there are, unfortunately, but let's just make some up. Let's say, you know, there's the magic. There's a magic one, the warrior, the paladin. Let's go with that. Like, if you,
and then there's Pathfinder.
Yeah, there's Pathfinder.
Pathfinder. Hey, Pathfinder.
No, if it wanted to be the Pathfinder, it just glitch out, and that's how it kills its enemy.
The animations would go to shit, you know.
Pretty much.
The voice actors are nothing what you thought they would sound like.
We are not delving into that conversation right now. And I will be here all day long.
Oh.
Polish. Oh, wait, I have to send you that. Dutchy was going to make a video on Mass Effect Andromeda. Emphasis on
polish.
And there's just a development. It's like a developer interview where it's just like, oh, we're just finishing up the game, just polish.
Oh my god!
It's like the funniest, like with context, it's the funniest thing ever.
Oh god!
They tried so hard.
But in the end, it didn't really matter.
There you go.
Linkin Park.
But, you know, like, each suit is tied to a class, so if you wanted to be a specific class and you wanted to upgrade that class all the way to maximum, you can, because then you can just switch over to a new one, and then you can go with that. And it has this open environment where you can fly around with a jetpack, and then you can go underwater with that jetpack.
That stuff looked cool.
Yeah, it looked cool, but, you know, it's E3. I don't think we can take anybody's word about, especially if they're at Ubisoft's area.
It looked exactly like, you know how the original Division E3 demo was just like them like, hey guys, let's go over here. Whoa,
it looked
Michelle,
incredible.
Whoa, Michelle, let's do that later with Jeff. Like, they did the exact same thing with this game. It's like, whoa, look at that area that we're going to briefly gloss over and say, hey, let's play that later with
and not put it into the game.
Insert friend name here.
I despise that stupid, you know, hey, we're talking like real gamers.
We're talking like real gamers, incredibly monotone. We have to make sure we over-enunciate so people can hear our clearly scripted demo script.
Yeah, like when in Anthem, when her friend like arrives where she's at, and she goes, "Oh hey Bob, oh hey Bob, how you doing? Oh, you want to go over here and do this?" In real life, it'd be like he comes in, "Hey, what's up, idiot? You want to go?"
The most basic names. What's up, Bob? What's up, Kim? How are you doing today? Let's shoot aliens.
Oh man, I get why they're doing it, because, you know, I don't know. The only one I think that really impressed me with that sort of TeamSpeak thing was, it didn't impress me, but it was a little bit more natural. It was the Sea of Thieves presentation, I think.
I thought the Sea of Thieves presentation this year was funny just because of the narrator. I thought he was funny. I was like, oh, I like this game.
We'll get to see. Wait, was Sea of Thieves at Xbox?
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, okay, yeah. But, you know, we'll stick to Anthem right now, and then we'll go over to Sea of Thieves in a second. But, you know, what'd you guys think of just what Anthem is trying to showcase? Like, if you looked at Anthem and you had a decision, would I buy it, would I not, why would it be? Dutchy, we'll go with you first.
Well, I think it would need characteristics that are more unique and apparent compared to The Division and Destiny. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't buy it at all.
I mean, like, what would differentiate Anthem from, say, Destiny?
And that's kind of the problem there at the moment, is that it doesn't really look different from Destiny, and from that alone, I don't think I would buy the game.
Hello, it's third person. There's your difference.
Oh, wow.
Well, you know, I kind of get what you're saying. I mean, it's still way too soon to determine whether or not the game is going to be exactly Destiny or anything, but, you know, first impressions do matter. And from what they've shown us, it just looks like EA's answer to Destiny, which isn't inherently a bad thing. It just means that EA wants a share of that, quasi MMO style of, action role playing that Bungie's sort of trying being the key word to pioneer.
E3 would have had money, and EA would have had money if they just released Titanfall, not next to Call of Duty, and not feel bad.
Titanfall 2 being released that soon to them was so stupid.
They should have pushed it to like March of this year, like how the first one was in a March.
Mm-hmm. Like, okay, Dmaster, like, what do you think would entice you to buy Anthem compared to, say, Destiny or the Division or anything like that?
It doesn't really entice me because the minute like we were talking about suits and stuff, the entire time my brain was like, wow, watch microtransactions just completely ruin this game.
Because Destiny has silver now, like that microtransaction system in a loot game.
Yeah, which is.
I mean, the silver thing is like, I don't know. I haven't played.
Like, it's not even needed.
The only thing I've seen silver applied to are like the little emotes, which I guess are fine, but. I don't know, but I'm just sitting here thinking, wait until they release DLC with new exosuits that are overpowered and cost like $5 a pop, and you have to gamble for them, just like in Call of Duty or every other game or in Overwatch.
Yeah.
I'm waiting for that. I'm waiting for that to come out. Then I'll be like, oh, staying away.
Anthem's gonna have exclusive Xbox content, seeing as Destiny seems to be doing some sort of shady deal with PlayStation, having all that exclusive content for their raids and stuff for like strikes and weapons and gear and stuff. Do you think because EA could have shown Anthem at their own conference, but they didn't? They only teased it and they showcased it at Xbox.
Yeah, there's probably
something going on.
There's something going down.
I would think so.
I don't know, like
that kind of thing doesn't just happen for no reason. I'm pretty sure there's some nefarious dealings, some people tapping their fingers behind the scenes, some people petting a cat somewhere.
Yeah, do you guys think that that's like an issue that's going on right now? Because people are starting to ask, is there a point to exclusives anymore? And I think there is, because if you have exclusive, that means that you have more reason for your console to exist. But especially since now they're pretty much becoming PCs.
Yeah,
I personally don't like them. Like, I don't like exclusivity to certain consoles. I feel everyone should be able to play the game, but I do understand that, well, you can't make it for every console sometimes. So it's how
am I supposed to brag that Halo 6 will be the best game ever if Sony has it too?
Yeah,
so
that's
Halo
kind of
6 will transcend gaming. Just you wait, fam. I'm gonna be there day one. I'm gonna be in the lobby camping the night before. I'll be like, 343 will never let me down. Everybody that says Halo 4 and 5 are bad are just haters.
So they'll bring Cortana back for a second time.
Yo, Fabian, you listen to this, fam? We about to fight on this podcast. Them fighting words talking about classic Halo.
On Halo 5's campaign, man. Don't get
them fighting words.
Oh god. But that kind of leads into the whole idea of just what Microsoft brought to the table. It brought Anthem. It brought Sea of Thieves. It brought 4K Minecraft.
Oh wow.
Best game.
There is one game that really surprised me, and it's not any of the bigger games. It's an indie game. Called The Last Night.
Yeah, it looked really pretty.
Like, I really want to know more from that one. As, a graduate filmmaker, they were using so many techniques where I'm just going, yeah, somebody here is either a film school reject or they graduated from film school. Like, it just looks too good to be true, though.
We'll see. Everything is sort of played up at this conference, especially because it's Microsoft. When I think of Microsoft conference, I just get Phil Spencer's face like, I'm fake smiling. Today, we're bringing you the games. Though they did try to like improve from the last conference, but I think both like Microsoft and Sony, they both sort of just did like, oh, here's a trailer, like nonstop. Like no, almost nobody came on the stage except for Phil Spencer and that one guy from Sony, I forget his name. But it's just trailer. Like, oh, you want games? We'll give you games, kid. Trailer. Like,
Do you think
I
that
don't
was an
know.
issue? Because you know everybody's always been clamoring for that. Everybody's like, "Oh, stop with the long-winded talks about technology and sports and stuff like that. Just get to the games. We want to see the games." And then here's a year where they literally do nothing but that, where they just give us game, and now people are going, "Okay, slow your roll. We need a little bit time to breathe."
I liked when I watched Sony's conference, I liked the theatrics of it. I mean, minus the whole audio thing. The very beginning was like, okay, what is this? They're just playing flutes. I'm assuming it's some like treasure game. I was like, oh, it's Uncharted. Makes sense. Or it's like the Days Gone thing where they had the zombie people hanging from the ceiling. And I was like, oh, that's cool. I like that vibe. And it's like, oh, look, it's Days Gone.
But do you think that presentation translated better to the people in the audience rather than the stream? Because like when you're watching it on stream,
true.
like it's a little weird. It's like, the orchestra made sense last year because the orchestra is all music. You can listen to it over a stream. You can listen to it in the audience. But when you're watching that, this year's conference at Sony where it was just, having this theatrics and everything, do you think that worked? Or do you think it just kind of worked better for people in the audience?
I mean, it would definitely be like more impactful for an audience viewing it, but I don't know. As someone who dabbles in theatrics, I appreciated it just a little bit.
Wow.
That dab again.
Yes,
Oh shit! Gotta appeal to the young kids.
Yes, I use the word dabble because it starts with the letter D.
Oh my god. But okay, so we did talk about Sea of Thieves earlier. That was hilarious.
I love that demo. It was great.
Just when he's looking up, it's like, and they have the map in front of the screen. Oh look, we're here. Just
we can't show this part yet. Let's skip over here.
yeah, or it's like, oh, we don't know what's in this chip. We haven't finished designing it. I'm kidding, right? It's just a joke.
Yeah.
But that whole presentation was really nice. And what do you guys think of Sea of Thieves from what they've shown so far?
It looks interesting. I'm gonna keep my eye on it. I'm like, I was never really like, oh, pirates, but now I'm just like, arg. It looks, yeah.
What's wrong with you, man?
I don't know. See, my exposure to the whole pirates thing was just like, Pirates of the Caribbean.
And then
I mean,
Flapjack,
from what I'm seeing
Flapjack
currently,
was not that great. So
from what I'm seeing, like I like the art design of it, but I don't know like what would draw me in to play this game, to be quite honest.
What do you mean?
Like, I don't know. Like, I don't feel like it's one of those games that I would ever really care to play unless I had friends, but you know how that works, not having friends to play games. But I don't know. It looks cool, but I don't know. I wouldn't play it, I don't think.
what? You need friends to play games? Bungie, you're adding that into raids finally? Oh wait, that's only for certain difficulties. Thanks for cucking us, Bungie.
But no, I get what she's saying though, because as much as I did enjoy the presentation and I did enjoy everything that they showed, I can understand that, the shooting doesn't exactly look all too great. It just looks kind of there, and there's no incentive. There's no goal. It's just go out and do what you want.
There's no depth.
Yeah, that's kind of what I see.
Oh, speaking of depth, it was actually funny because I was like on Twitter watching E3, and then Boogie298, when he was live tweeting about Sea of Thieves, like, this game lacks depth, and he's like, never mind, there's literal depth. She just jumped in the water.
No, but I guess that is a good point because you have this world. It's what I think. It's something that's kind of going on with the open world genre right now, where it's what's the goal of being in this open world? Like, why should I go around and do all these things? Because I don't have the time to do this, shit anymore. I have a job. I can't just fool around in a pirate game for 6 hours and just have fun with my friends. Like, I need.
I can't just complete every side quest on The Witcher for the next 5 hours.
I think that's a problem with open world games in general, but
Every open world game that isn't GTA 5 feels too big. That's just a problem.
I think that's why I think it's good for games to start going for hub worlds instead of open worlds.
Yeah.
Hub worlds allow that kind of freedom to do what you want, but in a somewhat contained fashion.
So you're not immediately overwhelmed. Like, oh, where do I go? What do I do? Oh, I have side quests here, side quests here. What level does it be? Do all these side quests? Oh my god.
Yeah, and I'm not saying like there shouldn't be open world games or anything. It's just I think there should be a good balance of not making every game an open world. Some games benefit from having mission level designs. Like if Devil May Cry went into an open world game, I would just be like, no, not.
That would be kind of a what the fuck decision.
Yeah.
Kind of like Mass Effect Andromeda. For no reason, they just kind of made it an open world game. And everyone was like...
I thought you were going to say Final Fantasy 15.
Oh, Final Fantasy 15 too. I didn't really understand that one either, but, you know.
I actually thought she was going to go with Mirror's Edge.
Mirror's Edge?
Mirror's Edge was sort of like a mission-based streamlined structure when it first came out, and then it comes out as an open world and does okay, but it definitely lost something.
Mirror's Edge
yeah.
is a really strange... Like, I love the concept of Mirror's Edge. Just do it better. Please. That's all I know how to critique games with. Just do that better. See that right there? That's good. There's something there. I don't know what it is, but do it better.
Yeah, the developers are very beneficial for your criticism, Dmaster.
Yeah.
Hey guys, you know Halo 6? Hey, you know campaign? Yeah, don't do that again. You know the multiplayer? Take a few things from that, but do it better.
Do it better. That's
just do it better. Just do it better.
So, speaking of doing it better, what about EA?
Lamau. Great segue.
Thank you very much.
EA was just like, lol battle.
Well, if I wanted it to be even better, I would have said Bethesda.
Oh. I don't know.
Where are the video games? I just think of this tweet that Dutchy retweeted. Where are the video games?
The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. Where are the video games?
It's true though. I actually didn't watch the conference to come to completion. I didn't even really sit there. I just looked at it. Was like, okay, where's Evil Within 2? Where's Wolfenstein: The New Order? And I was like, oh shit.
That's it.
Yeah, my predictions were way off. I was out here in the group chat being all pompous, like, "Hey guys, who's ready for that Doom 2 teaser?"
But hey, there is Fallout 4 VR and Doom VR. Like, hold on there.
Wait, I think you're forgetting the best thing. Skyrim VR. Anyone? How many times we need to replay Skyrim,
Jesus
fam?
Christ.
First Skyrim went to the new consoles, then it got remastered. Now it's with the HD water. Can't forget the HD water. Now
none of the bugs are fixed, but hey,
none of the bugs.
Water.
But the water looks like water now.
Wait, what do you mean none of the bugs? Did you see the Skyrim VR at the PlayStation conference? Like that legitimately
no, I didn't.
looked janky. Like the where your arms are. Imagine if you're holding your arms out right in front of you and they're in the center of the screen. Now imagine shifting your arms about a good 1 foot to the left. And I'm not talking about like moving your arms to the left. I'm talking about shifting your arms from the neutral position.
Like I saw the Fallout 4 VR.
Your arms detach from your torso and go to the left.
Pretty much. That's what it looked like. And I just wondered, why the hell did they show this?
It's so weird.
They could have just had the logo. Skyrim VR. Bam. Done.
And people would have been like, oh shit, oh my god, it's coming. And then, no.
I wouldn't have. I still would have made the same jokes about beating Skyrim to death.
Well, everyone would have, to be honest, but...
Yeah.
How old is Skyrim? Skyrim came out in 2011, fam. Bethesda, we get it. All right, you like Skyrim? Hurry up and
keep beating the horse. It's okay.
Hurry up and fix.
Be in the game.
Just keep beating them.
Just hurry up and fix Elder Scrolls Online, then we'll talk, okay, Bethesda.
No, but it really was just an awkward conference. It was It was less than 60 minutes.
Ooh.
I think it was around 45 to 60 minutes, and it just. For what? For Wolfenstein and the Evil Within 2, which don't get me wrong, people want that. It looks great. They both look cool, but did it need to be a conference? I don't.
They could just put out trailers and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty much.
So, well, moving on from Bethesda.
Talking about
moving on.
All right, so let's actually go to EA because I actually caught EA's conference about a good 20 minutes in, so I didn't actually see what was apparently really awkward at the beginning, like some
I didn't
presenters
either.
or something.
Well, you know me, I didn't catch any of the conferences, but hey, you know.
You were the only one in the chat like, guys, I gotta take notes so we know what to talk about.
Yeah, it's
Take
like,
notes. I have a 4.0
I mean, like, I'm kind of
Actually,
sitting
no,
here right now, but
I have a 4.1. All right, I'm smart, guys. I take notes for.
hey, guys, relax. I'm typing, looking around, looking at what games were shown, you know, just kind of
You're
getting
like,
an idea.
I'm just skimming through trailers on YouTube during the podcast.
Hey, that's what I'm doing. Give me a break, okay?
No, but you know, I don't know. Like, EA's wasn't that bad, and everybody's clamoring like it was terrible or something. I didn't catch the first 20 minutes, so it may have had a bad first impression. But,
Like Sony's audio.
yeah, exactly. But I caught it when the Need for Speed demo was going on, and then which doesn't look that bad. It looks pretty cool.
Yeah.
You know, there's an effect where when you crash into one of the cars that's chasing you, or whatever, it does a slow mo, and you see the car just being completely wrecked and everything. And they did that so often. I really hope you can turn that off if it's too prevalent.
Yeah, it reminded me of remember Rise Son of Rome? All the takedown scenes with every single soldier, like you get them down, like how I always explain this, like you know when like in the Batman games where the last punch is like ugh, like in slow mo, like just imagine that, but every single time you kill somebody, I'm just like it's so annoying.
Yeah, but like it wasn't that bad. And then right after that, they showcased one of the most interesting games that came out of E3. I think this is the
Battlefront 2?
No, God no.
Yes.
Aww.
Battlefront 2.
There. But no, there was a game called A Way Out. And please tell me you guys saw the footage for this.
I vaguely remember this. Hold on, now I gotta pull a Dutchy and
Damn it.
skim
Yeah, hold on. I'm looking up the trailer right now. I heard some things about this. It looked interesting.
I'll explain it as you guys are kind of watching it. So basically, it's done by the same guy who did Brothers: A Tale of Two Sons, which is one of the better, indie games that was released a couple years back. And what he decided was he's going to take the team that made that game, and they were going to make a new studio and work on this specific game. And A Way Out is based on two characters. One of them who's already in prison, and one of them who arrives to prison.
Oh, I remember this now. You jog my memory. Yeah.
A co-op only game. You cannot play this solo.
Ooh, okay.
Already not sure how I'm gonna get it or who I'm gonna play it with.
Just wait. So, the whole premise is that the entire game you will be split screen. There is no main screen. You will if you're playing with somebody online, but he emphasized the one thing he kept saying was you have to play this on the couch. You can play it online. That's not that it's
Wait. You have to play it split screen.
Yeah, you have to play it split screen.
343, are you listening to this right now? You have to play this game split screen.
I kind of like that concept, actually. That seems like a...
If you guys watch, you can watch the trailer whatever while I'm talking about this, but basically, let's when one of the characters arrives in prison, the other is looking at him as he's arriving, and when one character is in a cutscene, the other character will be able to have control of their the other player will have control of the character in that cutscene.
Wow.
So one person's in a cutscene, the other person can just be walking around, either looking at the character in that cutscene or going around doing something else.
Wow. So it's literally two games running side by side, split screen.
Pretty much. And so he kept saying this is a game to be played on couch co-op, which as a fan of couch co-op, since I grew up with doing LAN parties and stuff like that, I am so happy that
not even once.
Boy, I played with my family, but it's pretty cool. I like that idea.
I played with my ex-girlfriend. I played with my ex-girlfriend, then she told me Halo. Since she told me Halo looked like Star Wars, then I broke up with her on the spot.
But it looked really cool because it's not just a gimmick where it's, you know, you have two characters controlling each one, split screen, and if, like I said, if you're online, you can see the other person's screen. It's going to be on your screen. So it's not like you have a full screen. It's literally both of you will be able to look at each other's screens during that time.
That looks it looks really interesting. Like I'm going through it. Yeah, I see what you mean. Like, oh, here's a cutscene here, and then there's one person still doing their thing here. It's like, oh.
And so there is one aspect that, like, the thing that kind of took it over the top for me, because I was looking at it, I was going, that's really cool. But one thing that just took it over the edge for me is that there is a shot where it's full screen, and the characters are back to back and having to walk on a wall in order to get out of the situation.
Yeah, I saw that. Yeah.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Looking like, holy shit, that is cool. That is how you do co-op. And it looks like you'll eventually escape the prison, and it looks like when there's cutscenes with the two of them, it becomes full screen. And so it's not like it's just going to be split screen the entire time. And it's not always even. Sometimes some screens are, for one character, it's bigger. For the other, it's more narrow or anything like that. But when the guy came up on stage and he was talking about it, he was really passionate. This guy, he legit says, what did he say? He said, damn it, now I'm having a blank right here on the podcast. Where basically he was just going like, this game's going to be amazing. Oh, he said you can do anything. It was like, well, not everything, but you can do a lot of things.
It's like, well, maybe not everything, but you can do a lot of things, man.
And he just goes like, look, I know I sound cocky when I say this, but the reason why I sound cocky is because it's true. It's going to be good. And, you know, he was just really passionate about it, and that sold me on it, because EA over the years has had this thing where it starts letting indie developers showcase their games, like when they had Unravel.
Yeah.
Unravel.
Yeah, that was such a sweet, you know, presentation though. Like, the guy was obviously nervous, and his voice was cracking, and he was shaking. It was really nice.
It was a real person. It wasn't Phil Spencer saying, "Hey, games, we got them."
I think that's why, you know, EA overall had a decent presentation with Battlefront 2 and everything, but it still felt kind of corporate-like. Just, hey, here's EA as a company talking to you, the consumer.
But guys, Battlefront 2, it's Battlefront 1, but finished. Just like Destiny 2 is Destiny 1, but finished. I was gonna say, can we? I'm making a video about that whole trend. So I have a few things to say about that, but we'll get to that later.
You might as well do it now. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Developers, are you listening? DLC is not how you finish a game. It's how you add to a game. That's mainly what I wanted to say.
No, I completely agree on that point. Thank you for the dramatic, reading of your testimony. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, there we
Anyone
go.
disagree? Speak now or forever hold your peace.
I object. What? Old man EA? This is.
It would be EA. It would be EA.
Damn it, EA.
But, it still has that feeling of, Battlefront 2, it looks good, but again, it just looks like it should have been what the first game, should have been.
But guys, the Star Wars lore has never showcased the Empire as like protagonists. I don't like this game, says every fanboy on Twitter.
Oh man, don't get me
Well,
started.
neither side is technically correct. Just saying. All right, that's just Star Wars.
That's a whole other Star Wars fan.
That's Star Wars lore right there.
You've unleashed the fanboys on our podcast.
Oh shit.
But
We had
I
one
think
job,
it was
damn.
just it was a solid overall conference. It wasn't terrible or anything, but it just had that corporate feeling to it. I don't think EA's conference will never have that though. It'll always feel like a company talking to consumers.
Because you just know who it is. You just know
It's EA, and you're like, okay.
You just get PTSD of like Battlefield 4's launch.
I heard about that. I actually didn't play Battlefield 4 until much later on, but I heard that the launch was just absolutely terrible.
Oh god, it was terrible.
scary.
I bought the game early because I had there's certain stores that sell games before the street date. I can't tell you where or how or why, but just be on the lookout. But so I got Battlefield 4. I'm like, oh man, it's gonna be so lit, man. It's just Battlefield 3 but prettier. So I'm just like, and I'm just like day one, like finding a game. I'm finding a game. I'm still finding a game. Like,
I thought we were talking about Battlefront, not the Master Chief Collection.
Ooh, shit.
I was actually about to make that joke. Master Chief's Collection still can't find games.
No kidding.
But I think that's more because the matchmaking somewhat works now, but now there's just nobody on it.
It's
pieced
dead.
out already.
It's dead.
Pieced out already.
Totally dead. No, but the 343 doesn't care about it anymore.
That was a wasted opportunity to say the least.
Yeah, I mean, at least we still have the campaigns to go back to, but Jesus Christ.
Hey, Dutchy, you wanna finish Halo 2 on Legendary?
Hell no. That was a disaster. Holy shit. That brought up bad memories from my childhood.
We started doing that recently. She's like, she just like, hey, Davon, you wanna torture yourself with me? You wanna play Halo 2 on Legendary? We're stuck on the first mission for like 4 hours at this one checkpoint because we couldn't get a checkpoint for like an hour.
That game has some of the worst snipers in any game that I've ever.
100%.
I
remember that level.
You just gave me flashbacks, fam.
That was bad.
When we got to that mission, oh Lord,
the screaming. Oh.
The screaming. I've never heard her so mad in my life.
But okay, so speaking of, the whole corporate nature of things and actually making it feel like a, like EA's conference will always feel like a corporate cesspool.
You had the segue, but you lost.
Lost the segue. I was going there and I was like, shit. But anyway, going from the corporate to the actual individual side of things, we have Ubisoft.
Okay.
Assassin's Creed, the company.
Assassin's Creed, there you go.
Well, the thing is they actually didn't show Assassin's Creed. They showed Assassin's Creed from a camera looking at a monitor that had...
Yeah, I heard about that.
I don't
and
know
then Assassin's Creed got shown at Sony. Or was it Mike?
Welcome to 2006 YouTube. We're gonna record its TV screen with a camera.
I don't know what you're talking about, fam. I did my first few videos were like that.
Yeah, mine too. Jesus.
Ooh.
I was like, capture cards, too much money. Like,
oh.
Guys, look at my trick shots as I drop phone and miss clip. No, please.
But you had, I actually liked that Assassin's Creed wasn't even a focus. They just said, "Oh, we're gonna play it after the show." It's like, oh, well, shit, good. Okay, good. And then they had a couple of interesting stuff. I forgot what they started off with, though, unfortunately. But I do remember they have this VR game that has Elijah Wood in it.
Oh, yeah. Huh. I remember, I specifically remember Elijah Wood. I was like, what's Frodo doing up here? I'm sorry, that's like the only thing I know him from besides Red vs. Blue.
And Back to the Future Part 2.
Elijah wasn't. Oh my God! I was like, it just hit me. I'm like, yo, that's Elijah Wood.
Oh my God, that's like a baby's toy. But
oh my God.
But, they have this VR game that I don't know how to describe it. Because they didn't show any gameplay or anything. They showed a concept where it looks like it's trying to talk about the fact that VR and virtual worlds is, like...
No. You know what it reminded me of? Remember that really bad Johnny Depp movie, Transcendence?
I never saw it, but I know what you're talking about.
Like it had that, like it was that exact concept. Like, oh, we're putting the mind, body, and feelings into the computer. Like it's the exact same thing, but just in a video game. And instead of Johnny Depp, an actor who spends $25,000 a month on wine, we have Elijah Wood.
Well, I think that's really kind of interesting, though, that they're making it not social or political or anything like that, but they're taking this concept of, you know, this trait that comes from sci-fi, where it's, you know, once we have virtual reality that's indistinguishable from reality, you know, what's to stop people from being sucked in? What's to stop people from pretty much having their own sort of Matrix style?
I'll tell you, the fact that VR is still bad right now.
Oh yeah.
It's getting better. It's
in its baby steps.
Yeah. And so, you know, it's interesting to have this game that they're trying to take advantage of what VR is as a tool by having the tool be the game.
They're building the story around the tool it's built for.
Yeah.
Which makes sense.
Okay, yeah, the game is called Transference, I believe.
Ooh, they just
Damn.
they just like Transcendence? Nah, that's the copyright's taken. This is Transfer. That's the exact meaning. They're like, title? Transcendence. Wait, no, that's already a movie. Oh, it is? Oh yeah, that really bad movie. What's another word? Go to thesaurus.com. Transference? Got it.
Wow.
So it kind of reminded me of this old episode of Batman Beyond, where yeah, I know
that is an amazing show.
Yeah.
Actually, I need to get this in right now. Dutchy, do you even know what that is?
Yes, I have seen Batman Beyond. I watched it when I was younger.
I don't know with you, all right? Because this girl is so young. She didn't know what Hey Arnold was, dude.
What?
Because I never saw it. I've seen Hey Arnold. But
every time her age gets brought, like there was a whole afternoon. I'm just naming off cartoons to her, and I'm just like, do you even know what this is?
No, because they're all 90s cartoons. Damn it, Devon.
Because every time your age gets brought up, I have like this mini existential crisis.
Oh
Yeah,
my god,
right now I'm having that. So let's stay away from that crisis right now. I don't want to think about my inevitable death. So let's just go into Transference, where the reason why I brought up Batman Beyond is because there's an episode where they have a character who, like, these people who are getting addicted to living in a virtual reality.
Yeah, I think I know what episode you're talking about.
You're talking about that? Kind of. But, you know, okay, here's one thing. What game stood out to you the most in Ubisoft's conference?
That one. Or Assassin's Creed.
For the Ubisoft conference, I would definitely say the Mario Rabbids weird-ass crossover.
It's Mario Rabbids XCOM.
Yeah, that's
homage.
literally what it is.
But holy shit, does it look good.
It looks really cool,
I was
actually.
surprised by how good that game looks.
Hey. Man, at least we're not getting Sonic 06, the sequel.
Jesus.
I would like to make a statement.
I love that game.
I love Sonic 06. I have very fond memories of it. I was like 9 when I played it.
Damn.
I probably remember all the glitches.
All the dislikes.
I probably remember they were actually funny. See, me as a kid, the glitch where he like stands upside down on the rings, I probably thought that was funny. So
Thank you for joining us at Two Guys One Mug. We're now ending the podcast. This is the last episode. I single-handedly crushed it with this statement. I like Sonic 06. But you know, there are worse games. Trust me, there are worse games that you can enjoy.
Duke Nukem.
That game too. I love Duke Nukem Forever. I'm kidding.
Oh god. But you know, they showcased other games like The Crew 2. I never played the.
I don't care for that,
Neither
but you know.
You know, all
it has its audience, so.
No, but this time it's cars and boats, dude.
And planes.
Oh shit.
And
planes.
Ooh, fam.
It's like fucking Pixar.
Oh my god, those are like the weakest Pixar
The weakest
movies.
of the bunch.
Speaking of which, Cars 3 in theaters now. We're totally sponsored. No, we're not. I wish we were sponsored by Pixar. That'd be stupid money.
We're trying to gain their sponsorship. Suck up to them.
We're working on it.
We have to tone down the swears and the criticism of the developers. Guys, remember what I said? Do better. Yeah, just keep doing what you're doing. Keep doing.
Do what you're doing. But you know, Ubisoft. It looks like this year they had a lot of interesting games. They had that pirate. Like the boat game where it's going to be PvP pretty much only.
Oh, yeah,
Cloud
Skull and
Pirates.
Bones.
I'm
Yeah.
kidding. Cloud Pirates.
Cloud Pirates.
Cloud Pirates. Yo, I want that game. I only saw the video from Racing. I'm like, yo, I want this game. It looks dope.
Pirates.
Like, well, what'd you guys think of? Well, first let's go back to Mario and Mario Rabbids. What did you guys think? Like, when you guys first heard of Mario and Rabbids, what was the first thing that went through your head? And
Huh?
I was like, wait, what?
Huh?
I completely forgot about the Rabbids, so that was kind of out of nowhere.
I was like, wait a minute. I know those guys. Wait a minute. Mario? Them? Huh?
it could have been worse. It could have been the Minions.
Oh my god.
Ooh, don't give them any ideas. We do not need a Minion game of any kind. I don't
This
care
is
if it's a
Ubisoft
party
we're
game
talking
for
about.
Xbox.
They'll try to do that. Let's not.
I don't care if the Xbox One X they revamp the arcade party game disc. I don't care if they do that and put the Minions on it. It does not need to be a thing.
Oh god! But I mean, at one point the Rabbids were kind of like the Minions. They were
yeah.
funny at first, and then like they just became annoying because of how much they were being.
Yeah, but they weren't as widespread as Minions, so they didn't get they didn't become as cancerous as Minions.
But you have Skull and Bones, you have the Crew 2, you have Mario Rabbids, you have Transference. It just seems like Ubisoft decided, let's make games that are a little bit weird, but not not in the way where it's weird in tone or something. Just you never thought that they would go and try and do that.
Yeah, I would agree with that. But I mean, I wouldn't consider Far Cry 5 weird, but Oh yeah.
They're gonna do absolutely nothing with that whole like controversy about religion. They're gonna do absolutely nothing with it. There's gonna be like
it's
gonna be like a
Ubisoft,
base level discussion about it in the story. It's not gonna be anything thought provoking. That's just it's just controversy, shock value. That's all it's gonna be. So everyone complaining on Twitter, like, oh my god, Far Cry literally says F you to religion. Shut up. It's not gonna it's gonna be fine.
It's not gonna be like that, we assure you.
Yeah. And so, they have their Far Cry 5, they have their Assassin's Creed Origins, and, the stable stuff. But they did end the show with a big one. And that was Beyond Good and Evil 2.
What? Little kids like me are like, wait, what?
Wait.
I have heard of it, but I've never played it in my entire life.
Yo, I just had the biggest brain fart. My brain said, when you said that, my brain said Beyond Two Souls 2. I'm like, what? That one
Ellen Page game?
That one Ellen Page game where Ellen Page sued the developers because there was a glitch that you could see her naked in a shower.
Oh god, I forgot about that.
God, that game. Oh.
Beyond, I was like, Beyond Two Souls.
We're bringing up all the bad games in this one. It seems.
The Telltale, the game that wishes it was Telltale Games.
Yeah.
No, man, Telltale Games. Telltale Games wishes it was Telltale Games at this point.
Yes, it really does.
Jesus Christ. But
where is my Wolf Among Us Season 2, damn it?
Where's my Doctor Who game?
Oh shit!
Harry Potter.
They announced that, but they never acted on it. They just said they have all these rights to franchises that would make really cool Telltale games, but they just never.
Nope, we're gonna make a season 2 of Minecraft.
Minecraft.
Why?
No.
Why is Minecraft?
Oh my god, Minecraft story mode in 4K. Oh my god.
Oh shit.
To give context, when was the first Beyond Good and Evil? The first one came out, I think it was like 2004, 2003. This sequel has been talked about.
2003?
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil.
Yeah, she definitely doesn't know.
Yeah, no. No.
Yeah, Beyond Good and Evil was originally on the PS2, and I don't know if it was on any other platform, but I remember it being on the PS2, and it's been teased. This sequel has been teased for so damn long. Dmaster, do you remember that trailer a long time ago? I think it was about a good 6 years ago, where it was the character, the pig, and Jade. They're like in front of a car that's broken down on the side of the road.
Vaguely. Now that you're saying, like, describing it, that I do kind of remember that.
Yeah, that was teased probably a good 6 years ago or so. So this game has been teased for about a good 2003, so 14 years. 14 years of this game has been trying to come out, and they decided, I guess Ubisoft decided, we're going to go all out with this one, because that trailer was amazing.
It really does look really good. Like,
Still
damn.
not as long as Half-Life 3's been teased.
Don't do this to me.
Don't do it. Don't do it. We don't need more dislikes. Don't do it.
My heart can't take it. No.
Hey man, I'm bringing back the memes.
Oh god. But they had a cool trailer. Now Dutchy, is somebody who never played Beyond Good and Evil 1 and you pretty much didn't know anything about it. Did you actually see the trailer, or
as someone who was a fetus when the first one came out?
Well, I'm watching it right now, and it looks really fucking weird. Okay, I'm just gonna say it right now. There's animals and shit that can talk. It looks weird, but it kind of looks cool. I'm not gonna lie.
Like, I think somebody described it best, that it kind of looks like The Fifth Element.
Yes, it definitely looks.
I saw a tweet on Twitter. It's like, this looks like edgy Animal Crossing, and I started dying. I was just dead for like the next 5 minutes.
But I mean, that's not too bad of a description, because they have all this swearing and everything, which they could do what they want. I never understood the hate of when a character swears or anything. Like, even if they do it all the time, because hell, we fucking swear all the fucking goddamn time.
Oh yeah.
Hey man, tone that down. We're trying to get sponsors over here.
I'm sorry. We swear all the darn tootin' time.
Can we even use God in an insulting manner? Like, can we even do that?
We can't. We actually can't, because it's Pixar. We have to be as neutral as possible. Basically, we have to take our opinions, put them through a grinder, water them down, and then put them through the grinder again, and then we're allowed to say whatever we're thinking.
We're basically Bethesda, but
So Dutchy, since you're watching the trailer right now and everything, and you say it looks weird and everything, this is a CG trailer, so obviously there's no gameplay or anything.
Yeah.
But what does this trailer tell you right now? Like, what are you getting from this whole trailer?
I'm getting that it's a weird sci-fi adventure with animals and a woman. Yes, yeah.
Wait, a non-white woman, yes.
A non-white woman, there you go.
A non-white woman. Hey, feminists, we got you, fam. You wanted hairy armpits? Every other character is hairy. We got you, fam.
Oh god. But it does remind me a lot of The Fifth Element and all that kind of stuff, but what's actually kind of funny is that this is a prequel. This isn't a sequel to the original game. And so I think that was the best idea they could have done.
It makes sense because the gap is so large. Like, you have so many new people, like Dutchy, a literal
14
fetus.
years, we're gonna make a prequel.
I have no idea what's going on. Like, I don't know anything about the story. I was literally I was barely born when this game came out. What do I do? Where do I start?
Yeah. So it does make sense to start off as a prequel, because then you have characters from the first game that can make an appearance, whether it's a cameo or like an actual main character or something. But you also have this free reign to do what you want, because you're no longer tied to the original game. So then you can't like piss off fans of the original game too much, because you can just be like, oh well, this is before, so it's different.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the trailer too. I'm just like, oh my god, this pig guy is just hella swole, fam. He's like bleeding. He's flipped the table. You got Winston over here going, and then there's
Winston before the peanut butter. Let's keep in mind that.
The city looks like Attack of the Clones, but with overgrowth DLC.
I like the character though. He was really funny. It was just it's rare to see a character like that who's just so unapologetically just in your face and swearing, and not in an edgy 2006 way where it's swearing to seem badass. It's just swearing because that's who he is.
It's just a character trait.
Oh wait, this reminds me, Dutchy. You know that visual template thing that you sent us in the chat?
Correct.
Are we actually? I just made me think of this. We're probably gonna show like visual aids of everything, right? Like in the little thing.
Yes, that's
Little
what
thing
I
right
was
there.
planning on using it for.
You see. Now that I know that, it's gonna sound real awkward because people listening to this will have seen that in effect for about a good hour now, and I'm just now bringing it up. Like, hey, we should do something with that.
Know how a podcast is done by unorganized people.
Here you go. This is it.
Yes, you think we're all friends? This is literally our first conversation. You think that's a meme? It really is not.
Nope, this is serious. We're serious right now.
But I mean,
Yeah,
I know. We're doing pretty good, guys. We're doing pretty good.
But I mean, if you're gonna end the show, Beyond Good and Evil 2 is a good way to do it.
Oh yeah.
And they
There
do
you
show off
go.
gameplay. Kind of. Very, very, very small in the background,
Ooh,
so it
ooh,
is in
ooh.
development.
I have a thing to say about kind of gameplay when we get to the Sony conference. Ooh, kind of gameplay.
Okay, so leading into the Sony conference, there you go.
Ooh. All right, now's the part where I can fanboy.
I'm gonna give you both the free rank because you both saw it, or yeah, you both saw it. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah. I know about it, so.
Because I feel like I've been talking a hell of a lot more than you.
Spider-Man. Okay.
Okay,
I
so
will give context.
So what about Spider-Man?
Spider-Man is a game that is being made by Insomniac. Very good game developers, many great games under their belt. You know Ratchet and Clank? Yeah, they made that. You know Sunset Overdrive? Probably don't because it didn't sell that much, but it's a fun game, alright? I recommend it. If you haven't played it. It's a good game. It's an Xbox exclusive that no one played, but I recommend it. Good developers, they understand movement, and that is exactly the thing I need in a Spider-Man video game. I need good movement. I need the web swinging to be on fleek. We haven't seen that much of it. He was just chasing a helicopter the entire demo, and then everyone was nagging on Twitter about QuickTime events. Everybody, shut up. QuickTime events have been a thing since God of War 2. Why are you complaining about it now? Yes, it takes away from the experience, but at least it's not Telltale Games. Literally click... is literally interactive movie .studio. Like, but you give those games all the praise in the universe.
Okay, so
You got a point.
We
You got a
had
point.
A little brief conversation with Dutchy. Like you legit sounded like Dutchy for a second.
Oh, I don't know. I'm just like, hey, developers, or hey, people on Twitter. Spider-Man's gonna be a good game. I'm tired of the comparisons to Arkham games already. Yes, the combat looks very similar. Yes, very similar. But is Spider-Man, does he have that cracking sound every time he punches somebody? No, he's supposed to be more agile, more sleek, more in your face, more webs and stuff. All right. You know what? I don't even care if it's similar. The Arkham combat, it's dumbed down, it's basic, it's meant for a wide audience. Me personally, I wish they would have put some more combos in there, but you know, it's still an E3 demo, fam. I like what they're doing with the as a Spider-Man nerd. I like what they're doing here. I like that they're making the character nothing related to the movie. Thank God. Even though Spider-Man 2 is the greatest Spider-Man game and the greatest movie tie-in game, I want to say, period. I'm glad it's not based on the movie. And frankly, it's a comic era that most comic nerds don't even care about, where he actually is more mature as Spider-Man and has his own company and stuff. So there's a lot of it's a very interesting approach they're taking here. And I like it a lot. They're utilizing underused villains like Mr. Negative, which, like, you know, the three.
Who?
Quiet, you fetus.
I didn't know who Mr. Negative is. Just like, you know, I was more of a Green Lantern fan than everything. So, yeah, I like Marvel and everything, and I would read Spider-Man comics from time to time. But I never heard of Mr. Negative.
So you're saying you're more of a DC man?
I wouldn't say
more
more
of a DC man.
I'm just, you know, I would read.
Ooh.
All the dislikes.
Triggered.
No, like I just liked Green Lantern. He is my favorite superhero. So
You didn't like the movie though, right?
Oh God, no. Now I'm triggered. Okay, now I'm triggered.
I'm making you didn't like the movie though, right?
God, no. I mean,
that
it had its
that
moments,
CGI
but Jesus
costume
Christ.
though,
No,
right?
Shut up. We're not getting there right now. but,
Hey man,
oh,
there's hope. Wonder Woman was decent. There's hope.
Yes, I actually did enjoy Wonder Woman quite a lot, but I do have to admit, like, that is a good point, that they are introducing characters that most people don't know. They have a Spider-Man that most people are used to the teenage Spider-Man because of the TV shows and the games and stuff like that.
And the new movie's about to beat that idea to death.
So, do you, as a Spider-Man fan, like, what out of the entire demo stood out to you the most?
I mean, as the whole demo, I'll admit, even though I just made a rant like, oh, QuickTime event, stop nagging about them. Yeah, the whole thing, it was meant for like the show, you know, like the whole crane falling. So I'm like, oh yeah, it's pretty cool. And then they tried to show off a little bit of the swinging. A lot of people were like, oh, is there gonna be a way for him to swing faster? There's gonna be upgrades. This game looks bad. I'm like, oh god, it's demo. Shut up. You only seen 8 minutes of the game.
Was something that stood out to me that it did seem too QuickTime heavy. The combos and the swinging looked a little slow. But I'm willing to bet that, yeah, you're right, that there is some sort of...
Yeah, I'm willing to bet there's gonna be a way. If they're not just gonna be like, because if you think about it, this game is technically competing with the game I forgot to mention when we were on Microsoft, Crackdown 3, which I'm actually somewhat interested in, which has a very heavy set on like movement and upgrading your personal character. Basically Saints Row 4 with better guns. So
Yeah, like, have you seen the trailer for the demo for Spider-Man?
Yes, I have.
Like, what did you take out of it? What stood out to you the most, and what did you think was like the worst part of it?
I would 100% have to agree with a lot of people about the QuickTime events. Like, I'm not really a huge fan of QuickTime events. I know, I'm sorry, Devon.
Maybe I'm just being a fanboy, but I'm just like, man.
But I have to say, like, the movement around the city, I thought that was really cool. Because I've never played a Spider-Man game, but I always thought that was a really cool aspect of just being able to go around the city as Spider-Man. I don't know. That's my take on it.
Oh yeah, you've never played Spider-Man 2, you're a little fetus. That was a pretty good Spider-Man game.
Yeah, and you can play as Venom too. That was always a nice little change of pace.
Yeah, the first thing you do as Venom is eat a kid and watch his balloon fly away.
Shit. I didn't know that.
That was literally the tutorial, like where the tutorial was like how to eat people. You eat a little kid. You just watch his balloon fly away. By Pixar, there goes our sponsorship.
Alright. Oh my God! Ultimate Spider-Man, Venom eats kid. This cannot be true. I don't remember this at all.
Just literally look up the first mission as Venom. But anyways, so yeah.
Spider-Man.
Oh my God, he actually eats a little kid!
He
God, he just freaked me out!
Yeah, the kid's dead, fam.
Damn. Bye, Pixar.
Okay, I'm sorry,
I love how there was that brief silence that you just sheer terror. Oh my god.
I don't remember that at all. Oh my god.
No, let's just have that on loop.
Oh my god.
I was gonna say if I had the game I would record it myself and then record it from like every angle and then just loop it.
So excluding that nightmare fuel.
Venom eats child.
My point though, there's one thing that I really liked. It was whenever Spider-Man goes around the corner of a building, he kind of leaps off and then uses the web to kind of like propel himself around the corner.
Yeah, it doesn't break momentum at all.
No,
that was a problem with like older Spider-Man games. It's like, oh look, I'm wall running. Oh wait, no, I'm not. I'm falling now.
So I'm guessing you played like a lot of the older Spider-Man games.
Yes, I was very much a Spider-Man fanboy. Yes, I've even played Spider-Man 3 the game.
Oh.
Ooh.
No, I was trying to think of a way to bring up because I put that in the chat. Okay, lady, here I come. Quick time event from Spider-Man 3 falls in fire. I'm going to die. I'm gonna put that in the thing.
I think at a certain point that the developers knew they were making a bad game, so they just decided to go full like just horrible.
They just went full on comedy with the quick
much.
time event fails.
No, like
boy.
I remember playing the old PS1 Spider-Man game and a couple handheld versions and Ultimate Spider.
Oh yeah, I made that joke last night on Twitter. The really old PS1 Spider-Man game. I tweet a picture of it. Dutchy replies to it going, because I was like, who remembers this? Dutchy's like, nah, I was in the womb. I'm like, you kidding me? That game came out in 2000. You're born in 02. Your parents didn't even conceive you yet. like.
Oh man, but so we have Spider-Man as the pretty much main demo.
That was the finisher.
So we're gonna go backwards. So we have Spider-Man as the finisher, and I think before that we had God of War.
Yes.
And
I'm pretty sure.
I've only played God of War 2, and this one I don't know. I'm really iffy about this. This whole idea of like, okay, he has a kid around him, so he has to control his temper.
Yeah, it's a complete turnaround
I get that
from
a
how
story
God of
point.
War
Like,
was
let's
before.
let's take the equivalent of the Incredible Hulk as a character in video games. Let's take him and put him through anger management. What kind of story elements can we write as great writers? What can we do with that? I'm like, I get the like the intrigue of that concept, but I don't know. We'll have to see.
I think, I get what they're going for, and I actually had this discussion with a friend of mine the other day, where it was, people talk about the older games and the older God of War games and how Kratos was one evil son of a bitch.
Well, he was trying to kill everyone, so
I mean,
yeah.
he kind of watched his own family get murdered. So
That was my point, though. Like, when we talked about it,
it was justifiable.
exactly. Like,
Yeah.
it's justifiable. We're not gonna say if someone kills their family, go kill everybody. But
That's definitely what I'm saying, fam. I don't know what you're talking about.
but it made sense to have, this person who saw his wife and daughter die in front of him turn into this shell of a human being where he just doesn't care anymore. He literally doesn't care. He'll kill anybody. Because he already was a Spartan, and Spartans are by nature violent and
Spartans never die. Wait, wrong game.
wrong game, dude. And so I think the idea that Kratos could never change is a little bit not dumb, just a little bit. I guess naive isn't the word either. It's a little bit preemptive to think that way, because I understand it that the last games were hack and slashers and they had really cool combos and everything, but if you look at the new God of War as a continuation of just you have Kratos, who was the Greek God of War, and you have his whole mythology is now no longer existing. They're all gone, and now he's in Norse mythology and he has to deal with them. And it kind of makes sense when you think about it, because it's a character who's out of his own element, who has to fight in a different style against these new creatures.
I like the design of him though, like how he's like more like older. I like this trend that games in Hollywood are doing with like franchise like Uncharted, Logan, and now God of War, where it's just I'm getting too old for this shit. Like that whole thing where it's like, yeah, you know who this is, and he's just getting older. He's aging. Like, I like that whole idea, which is why I love Logan so much.
Yeah, and it just I can understand why people are hesitant on the new God of War, because when I first saw it, it looked cool, and I liked the idea of having a Kratos who is actively trying not to get angry.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. What kind of elements can we put? We put him through anger management. Like,
let's give him a kid.
Let's give him a kid. But when you think about it,
the literal rage meter. The literal rage meter. I don't know why I thought that was the most hilarious thing. I'm like, yo, this just needs to be applied to Dutchy whenever she plays Overwatch. Like, that's an experience on your ears.
It just doesn't, like, I don't know if you guys want to, chime in on this, but, like, what do you think of the idea of, having this character who, for all intents and purposes was a terrible person, just awful person, and then, he's in solitude for about, a good 20 years or so, I'm guessing, because he looks pretty older, 20, maybe 20 to 30 years. He's in solitude, he's, everybody thinks he's dead, and because of the ending of the third game where, he supposedly dies, but it turns out he didn't. So you have this character who's been alone for 20 to 30 years. He has a kid now. We don't know how he came in. We don't even know if it's his true son. It could just be like an adoptive son kind of thing. But what do you guys think of the idea of taking this character that everybody thinks is irredeemable? Like, he killed civilians, he killed all this stuff, and then making him trying to have, like, this sort of father-son redemption arc.
I mean, it seems like that's pretty much the next logical step. Like, the first games were like, oh, he's in the process of exacting his revenge. Okay, now he has said revenge. What is there for him? How do you still like this character? Before he was just like, Kratos is very much like, oh, this is a boys game, testosterone character, angry all the time. Yeah, boys love this game. But it's like, how do we soften him? How do we make him appeal as a human, as an actual character? When you look past the rage, when you look past all the combos, when you look past those cool fire whip things that he kills people with, when you look past all of that, how do we humanize him? I think that's just sort of like the next question, I guess. If it needed to be answered, because some franchises you just don't need.
Question that should have been answered. Like, do you think they should have tried to humanize him, or do you think they should have just stayed the path and have him be kind of that overly aggressive, don't care about anybody's life except for my own kind of thing?
It would have felt weird. I mean, I get that, like, oh, he's been thought to be dead, but like, if you think about, like, oh, here's this space, pretty much just this protagonist that you've been with, but you just sort of kill him off, and there's no real closure to him other than, okay, here, everyone's dead. Lol, now I'm dead. Like,
yeah,
that would make you feel like, okay, what was the point of this entire franchise? Just kill a bunch of people? Like, it would have been like kind of just like B-movie schluck in like to video games, if that's like the right phrasing I'm looking for.
Yeah, I kind of see it like a character arc, kind of. So he goes from, watching his family die, and then he exacts revenge on all the gods and a whole bunch of people, and now he's getting back into that state where he's like, I have a family again. How am I going to deal with this? I don't know how this works anymore. So that's kind of how I see the game and what they're trying to do with the franchise. That's what it seems like they're trying to do, at least.
It's just going full circle with him.
Yeah.
Well, actually, that is a really good point, because, there was a prequel game, I think it was called Ghost of Sparta, that came out on the PSP, and he still was, he's a Spartan. He's just that's what he was, right? He was a Spartan, and so, Spartans are pretty much bred from birth to be warriors and stuff like that. But,
or kidnapped.
So
I don't think it's obvious enough that I play Halo, fam. Like the my literal like Master Chief ripoff profile picture.
Not enough.
Not enough, fam. I need all the Halo jokes, all the memes.
But you have this character who started out as he was a soldier. He just killed people because that's what he did. He was born to do that. But he wasn't like this psychopath. And then his family gets murdered pretty much right in front of him. That would pretty much put...
I think that would set just about anyone off, to be honest. I mean...
I mean, it depends on how they were murdered, to be honest. Because
And-
if they were just like sniped, my immediate reaction.
Well, you
is,
have to
"Oh,
remember
shit,
too,
fam,
like
let me
the
get
reason
out."
why he's white is because that's his family's ashes that is on his skin. Like that shit.
That's a huge thing. It's his family ashes on his skin. He's wearing his family's ashes on his skin. Tell me that that would not drive you insane.
I'm just thinking about like the actual like the effects on you. I'm like, ugh. I mean, low key, if I ever die, I want someone to take my ashes and do a classic water bucket on top of the door prank with my own ashes. That way, even in death, I'm still pissing off people.
So, you have that character who's literally wearing his family on his skin in the most disturbing way possible. And, he, like you said, he exacts his revenge, he kills the gods, and then he's thought to be dead. And you're telling me that in 20 to 30 years of self-isolation, he doesn't change?
No, he's still messed up in the head. He's still messed up.
Yeah, he's still messed up.
But he's recovering.
Exactly.
He's gonna get the flashbacks mid game. I just hope they aren't Cortana Halo 3 flashbacks that stop the game completely. I just hope they aren't those.
But it just you have this idea. Like, I just don't understand that idea where people just go, he can't change. It's like, why? Because he shouldn't. He did all this horrible stuff in the past, and I'm just going.
But it's like it's a simple psychological character arc. Like, someone can change from being a terrible, nasty person. I mean, we've all seen it before, but I don't know.
What does that say about people thinking of what humanity is in general? That nobody can ever change. That this person who went through a horrific event and was forced to pretty much, because he made a deal, didn't he? That if he survived on the battlefield, Ares made him his slave. And you can't tell me that doesn't fuck somebody up psychologically.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean,
just literally, you're just designed to kill.
you're literally fucked in every single sense.
Like, I don't know. That's probably this whole conversation has just been going on for 10 minutes. Like, yo, man, this. I just want to see how they handle this.
I think that's all we can do.
Yeah. Plus, they changed up the gameplay a little bit. It looks a little faster than what they showed at last year's E3.
True. But it's true. But builds can change. There's nothing's final. The first Doom build from that one E3 was like stupid slow, and then it's like, oh my god, this game is like roids. I love this game. Which is why I was like so disappointed when Bethesda didn't put out like at least something. Like, come on, confirm that Doom 2 exists. Doom 2, please, fam. I love that game.
I actually haven't played Doom.
I just want to kill demons and then point to all the Christians who are like, video games are from the devil. Like, nah, we kill devils.
Jesus.
Idiot.
So since we're going backwards, what happened before God of War?
There was God of War, and then there was Destiny meh trailer.
Oh god.
You finally got to see Gary, the villain. Gary.
Isn't he Bane though? Like, he basically looks like...
Yeah, I tweeted that. Think about it. Bane from The Dark Knight Rises. All these quotes about how he lives in the darkness.
It looks like
and he literally
a
is after
grunt
the
on
traveler.
steroids. So, I mean... I don't know.
Oh my god, I can't get that image out of my head now. You're actually hilariously correct. I need to put that on Twitter right now.
It's really bad. I don't know.
Oh my god, it does look like a grunt on steroids.
See?
Like a grunt inside of a huge suit. So it's not actually...
Yeah, and then his armor falls off and it's like a tiny body.
You know the grunt jockeys from Halo 5?
Yeah.
Which ones?
The grunt
you don't play Halo
jockeys?
5.
Just nod and smile.
They're just only in Warzone, which makes sense why you've probably never seen them, because no one plays Warzone.
I stopped playing Halo 5 a long time ago.
No one
blames
Warzone.
you.
No one.
But that does I don't know, Destiny 2. I don't know, man.
Wait, can I
And,
ask how you guys thought about Destiny 1? Because that kind of seems like a whole conflicting story on its own. So to kind of set some basis on, you know, what you're expecting for Destiny 2, how did you feel about Destiny 1?
Wish it was finished. Wish it was finished. Apparently it's getting finished now. So
Yeah, I kind of have to agree with him on that point. Like, Destiny 1, I got it day one. I was super excited for it. And
Same.
then that was the game that just proved to me I should never pre-order again.
Same.
All right, yeah, that makes I completely agree, and the exact same thing happened to me, and I was just completely let down. I was like, "Wow, Bungie."
You set this up like we're gonna have this epic debate, like, oh god,
I know.
the Destiny
And
battle
then
was like, nah, we just
like,
all wished it
oh.
was. We just all thought it was just disappointing.
It was just because the gameplay on its own, like the mechanics and the shooting, is fantastic. It's great, but the mission design and the quote unquote story.
The game is there. It's just not all the way there.
I don't have time to explain why I don't have time to explain the fucking story in this game.
Ooh, writers.
Oh, the writers for this.
I'm
the game's
imagining
dialogue.
I'm imagining fully grown men at an expensive hotel room on their laptops with their with what's it called, Final Draft open. Like, how do we conclude this scene? Let's make it so that she's really busy. She doesn't have time to explain why she doesn't even have time to explain. Bro, that's so meta.
She's also a time traveler. Oh shit!
Like, that was their.
So brilliant. Well, it was made in like 2 weeks. Like that story was like, because what they threw out.
It got cut and scrapped. Like the original Awoken guy that was next to the queen was supposed to be, and then a lot more. There was supposed to be an actual villain. So much was cut out. Marty O'Donnell was like, bump this, I'm peacing out, fam. Compose your own music.
He got fired.
Dang.
He was like, "Oh shit."
Yeah, he's like, yeah, I want all that money you guys owe me, like right fucking now, and more.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, Bungie.
So, yeah.
You know,
Destiny
what
1
should've
finished.
been. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was like, oh, this is the 2014 game that we're getting in 2017.
I still have that bad feeling that they're gonna find their own way to fuck it up, though. That's the problem.
I already mentioned that earlier in the podcast. What's that? We're adding matchmaking to raids? Oh, what's that? Only on certain difficulties. What's that? You can't only do it on the hardest difficulty? Oh, snap. I guess we're getting screwed over again.
Wow,
Thanks,
shocking.
Bungie.
God, it's just so sad to see a company that I adamantly believed that was, you know, they were so good. I used to watch the Halo 2 documentary over and over and over again. I still do. I still watch that thing because it's so great. And then see this where it just feels so lifeless now.
It doesn't feel like Bungie anymore. It feels like a fucking corporation.
So Activision.
Yeah,
Literally
Activision.
Bungie doesn't make Destiny. Activision makes Destiny.
Somebody said it's like, so they left the cold arm of Microsoft to go with the other cold arm of Activision.
Yeah, no kidding.
Like, oh my god.
I'm really thinking about this now because I remember like all the stress. There's like, oh, we gotta finish these. We have to finish Reach and ODST so we can get out. We can be independent. We can be free. Next move. Hey, Activision's pretty cool. They're
What's
not.
in a...
They're
What
not
is it,
just
like
you
a
know,
10-year
they're not just
contract
taking-
with them?
They're not just taking Skylanders and Call of Duty and milking them until they just inevitably drop. Like,
It was a 10-year. Like it wasn't a 10-year contract. I think it was planned to be a 10-year long series. Not necessarily that each game would come out over 10 years, but they had plans like DLC and stories and stuff like that that was going to span 10 years. They were really, because the thing is, the story, like the lore of Destiny, is real interesting.
Yeah, if
just
you
don't-
read the Grimoire cards, but
yeah,
I mean...
I was gonna say, yeah, Destiny's interesting. Just
Just
sure it's not in Grimoire cards.
Just
and
make
we're
sure
good.
you can sign on to Bungie.net and...
Apparently, they finally learned about that, and apparently the Grimoire cards are like some sort of, like in Mass Effect where they have the Codex. Apparently, there's something like that in the game, which is like, oh, thank God, something that should have been patched in like years ago.
Yeah, no kidding. That's... Jesus.
Yeah.
And it sucks because you want Destiny to do well. You want Destiny to be this big game that earns its title of one of the most popular franchises, because it is one of the most popular franchises, but it's also this sort of love-hate relationship that everyone...
Yeah, it's like
you're just like, what the game does right, you're like, yes, give me more of that, do it. And then it's just like when the game doesn't work, which is like 90% of the time,
You're like, fuck.
At least you get to pretend you're Captain America with that new Titan ability.
Whoa,
yeah.
fam, the new supers. Hunters get blade dancers on roids.
Oh my god.
And then warlocks, I forget, warlocks are the ones I always forget. They're like the least favorite.
But it's
I
my
think-
favorite, damn it!
Yeah, I like the warlock. I think we have like a sword this time, so I don't know.
Yeah.
We're not completely useless now. Ah, wait.
Well, both of you are warlocks? Gosh.
What is one thing, or two things if you can't really think of, like, if you really want to do it, one or two things that you want Destiny to do, because we've seen quite a bit, we haven't seen everything, of course, of the game. So, we'll start with Dutchy first. Dutchy, what two things do you want to see done in Destiny 2?
A story, without a doubt. I need a story. They have this lore, but they didn't make a story.
Yo, have you guys seen the reveal stream?
Which one?
Yeah.
The Destiny 2 reveal stream, where it was like, we have 4 times as much cinematics in
Yeah,
any
that's
Destiny game.
yeah.
So I'm sitting there like, so they exist now, is what you're saying.
Well, the thing is, they were getting better. You know, the Taken King. I think the Rise of Iron was weaker than the Taken King.
Oh yeah.
It was it was bad in comparison, but the Taken King was a good step forward.
Taken King was very cinematic. I loved like how they directed the Taken King, like cinematography. I don't know. I'm just like, yeah.
Film nerd.
Yeah.
So stories is the number one thing. Is there anything else?
I would definitely say work on boss mechanics, because my biggest problem is that they were literally sponges.
Now that you bring
that's all they were.
Now that you bring that up, that one Nexus boss that's just in a floating room with his shield that rotates around him. What is his?
That's that is the strike that is always on rotation.
No, yeah.
God damn it, yes.
Everyone gets that strike, and he's just a bullet sponge. He's just a bullet sponge that you can occasionally shoot at, and the only way you have to camp in that one ledge that everyone knows what ledge I'm talking about. You have to go to that one ledge and then just sit there and wait for his shield to go away. And you just unload all your heavy and special ammo on him until he's dead. Like,
ridiculous. Yeah. Okay. So Dmaster, I'm assuming that's kind of like that was probably one of your things that
the bosses. That was the main thing. Second thing, I guess would be a little bit more multiplayer like the Crucible. There hasn't been. I get there's like, oh, there's Dmaster, there's Trials, Dmaster, there's Rise of Iron, but like, yeah, but the base Crucible itself, like, isn't. I don't know. Like when I play like Crucible, it doesn't feel like this was meant to be. Yeah, it's like this is meant to be PvP. Like, I guess it's like, I feel like it's just tacked on. Like, there's no Destiny. It feels really clunky, like as a PvP game compared to PvE.
Sort of, kind of like Battlefield or in Battlefront that they're doing right now, where it's this, progression of, you start at one place and then you take over enemy locations and have this sort of like raid going on.
That makes
I
sense.
think that'd be cool.
It makes sense for the lore, definitely.
Like you could start off and then you would have to do things that are done in raids, like having to cooperate with each other in order to open up a door and then go in through, and then enemy has to be pushed back and everything.
Yeah. And I know that games love to push for, oh, this is a united experience. Developers, stop doing that. It doesn't work. Okay, 343. You listening? You're not. There does not need to be a lore explanation for the existence of multiplayer. There's not. And Bungie, you don't need to make it so that your actual gear affects multiplayer. I do not need another Destiny game where everyone's running around with thorns, one-shotting people.
Oh my god.
We don't need that, okay?
Oh. Just, oh my god, I don't know. Let's move away from Destiny because we'll be here all day long.
Oh yeah.
That's like the entire next episode. Things
Just
Destiny,
Destiny.
did. Everything wrong with Destiny in
Part
in
1.
Part 1.
So the other game showcased at Sony's conference was Detroit Becoming Human. David Cage's next game.
Interesting concept. Reminds me of Minority Report kinda, with robots. I dig it. I want to see more. I'm interested.
But that dialogue though, just
Oof.
it's so clunky. It's so bad. It's so cheesy. Just, you know.
I can handle the cheese, all right? I'm a Spider-Man fanboy. I dealt with all 3 of Raimi's first movies. I can handle a little bit of cheese.
Man, it's inherently cheesy. We're talking about a story that's trying to be serious here.
That's true. It's supposed to be like this grounded detective. Oh, these are how many ways? I remember the original demo from last year's E3. It was like, oh wow, it was like here's how you could have changed this scenario. Like you could have saved the robot who's like, he was like, why am the whole story was, I don't know if I give context to the entire thing, but okay, so in the demo it's basically you're a detective, you're an android detective. They send you in for like special situations because you're an android, and the situation is that there's a hostage situation. A little girl has been taken hostage by another android, and he's all having an existential crisis because like he's become self-aware, like, oh, I'm a robot, what is my purpose, why can't I just kill you right now? And it's like, how, I forget how the initial scenario ends. Like, I think he kills himself.
I remember this. He kills himself and the girl. Like, he just
Yeah.
takes her with him.
But then the grip of the trailer is like, oh, how could you have changed the situation? You could have found more clues, you could have found more evidence, or you could have realized certain things, or information you could have said to either change the conversation with him or calm him down better, or even know little things about the story more, so it would have had different impacts. Like, you would have known, okay, set up snipers here, or like, because that was like one of the other options, like, oh, he gets shot by a sniper and the girl saves it, or it's like, or he lets the girl go and then he jumps off. I remember that ending too. He just like, oh, I guess I just have no purpose, and he just kills himself by himself.
And then there's one where it's, you know, the main android, the detective, he lies about having a gun, and then he shoots him in the head really quickly.
Yeah.
It's like, there's a lot of stuff, and that's a really interesting idea. It's just, can he pull it off? Because this is David Cage.
Yeah.
It sounds like a more complex version of LA Noire, in my opinion.
Yeah. And then this trailer was all about having androids being the more, like the other side of it, where it's androids who are attempting to free their own kind, because it looks like androids are kind of sold as, you know, things to help you around the house and stuff like that. They're not treated as an individual, because then that would mean that they would have to treat them like a human, and I guess that's what the whole point is. But they're being sold as, like, if you were buy a toaster or something.
Yeah.
iRobot.
Oh yeah, there you go.
Dutchy, why are you congratulating me? You don't know what iRobot is.
I know what iRobot is. I've seen it so many times.
I own iRobot, the bootleg version. Don't ask why. That's a whole other story. We'll get into a different episode.
And so I think, you know, Detroit Becoming Human, we need to see a lot more of that game, I think, in order for it to
make a good judgment call.
We need, because all we're seeing now are just cutscenes, and we need to see gameplay, I think.
Good concept. What reminds me is, like, this could turn out like Quantum Break. Very interesting concept. Let's see how they handle it, because Quantum Break was really lackluster. Because I remember it was like, oh wow, the people who made Alan Wake are making another game. What's this one about? Oh, time travel? Wow, it looks sick. Wow, there's gonna be like an interactive TV show that goes alongside. I don't know what happened to that. I don't know what happened to that. Oh, I don't even remember. I've never played the game, but I just remember hearing it was like, I just heard recommendations like, it wasn't not that great.
Yeah, I heard a lot of people say it wasn't all that great, which is a shame because I love Alan Wake and Max Payne.
Yeah.
Alan Wake is one of my favorite games ever.
Yo, Racevic, when's Max Payne 3 years later?
So, moving backwards in the timeline, since we're going backwards apparently, they had a bunch of VR games. Skyrim VR looks dumb.
They had more far point footage, which was
but there is one announcement that I legit was freaking out over in the theater, And
Call of Duty World War II, baby.
no, God, no. It was the reveal of the Shadow Colossus remake.
Oh,
and
yeah.
now here's the part where everybody just fanboys.
Yes, just like, okay, you do not know how much I love Shadow of the Colossus. It is an absolute masterpiece of a game. There are very few games that I call masterpieces. Nier Automata recently is one of them, and Shadow of the Colossus is another. When I saw that bridge, I legit, because I was with my brother and we were watching in the movie theater, just like, I was just like hitting him on the chest, like, oh my god, it's Shadow of the Colossus. He's like, what? Because he never.
He's freaking. He just freaking hit. He's just like.
Yeah, I would like to point out right now, I never played Shadow of the Colossus, but I have seen it before.
It makes sense. It makes sense you've never played it. When did it come out? 2001? When were you born? Well,
Yeah,
I
did not have
I thought I was older.
I did not have a PlayStation.
Dutchy, what
sorry.
even was your childhood? That's the that's the whole.
My
other
childhood
topic
was
we'll
mainly
get into
Halo
later.
2. That's about it. Halo 2 and Pokemon.
Okay, well, you know, that gives her credit. There we go. You know, she's good.
Yeah.
She's good.
She's all right. She's not that bad of a millennial. She's not that bad. She's technically, yeah. Well, I mean, technically, you're the only one that can like classify yourself as a '90s kid. You were at the end of the '90s. You were at least like you could remember things.
3. So, I consider myself a 90s kid, but pretty much because I think in any generation, once you're born past the 5 of that year, so 95, 85, you're no longer part of that generation.
Yeah, I'm 97. I'm not a 90s kid. I'll admit it. I'm not a 90s kid. I'm an early 2000s kid. I'm not a 90s kid. You're the only one that's actually
Welcome to the group, Davon. Welcome to the group.
Dutchy, you're a 2010s kid. What are you talking about?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah.
Yeah. So, you know, she has a completely different viewpoint, which is actually really good for this podcast, if you ask me.
That's weird when you think about it. Like the three of us have like there's a 9-year age gap between you and her, and it's like 5-year age gap between me and her. It's 4-year between you and me.
It's a good gap between a good perspective.
I feel like if people care about this show, which I don't know why they would, but if they're just like every episode just be like, oh my god, you're Dutchy, why are you a fetus? And then she's gonna be like, why are you guys so old?
God.
I speak for the young demographic, so there you go.
You technically speak for our target demographic, like 15
yeah, there you
year-olds.
go.
So there is one question, like not question, but more like something that's been brought up because of the remake of Shadow of the Colossus, and this will be the second time that this game has been second time it's been worked on after the original release. So it'll be released 3 times. One on the PS2, one for the PS3 when it came out with Eco for like an HD remaster, and then this one that's going to be a complete texture overhaul, completely from the ground up, new everything, all that stuff.
I mean, it's warranted. This is a point that I was gonna make in my upcoming.
I think it's needed, to be honest.
Yeah.
For like my demographic, it would be needed, but
it's not just a demographic thing. It's also like a system thing. Like this is like my next video.
Yeah.
Spoiler alert, is about like movies and stuff and how it's like, oh look, we're just remaking everything because Hollywood has no talent and we can't hire writers to make original stuff. But like with video games, in my opinion, my humble opinion, they deserve a pass. Depending on like what the circumstance, like people are like, oh, they're just remaking Call of Duty, but yeah, some people have probably sold the 360s, or like people are like, oh look, Ratchet and Clank getting remade, that makes sense. You know, people sold their PS2s, why not bring it back? Or Crash Bandicoot, I want that now. Naughty Dog, Jack and Daxter remastered, make it happen, please.
Good idea, because with movies and stuff like that, it's not
movies are more, yeah. Movies are supposed to be timeless. Games, they're only limited to what system they were designed for.
like I don't want to go back and play Ocarina of Time with that shitty ass graphics. Give me the remastered.
Yeah, like you can make that case, but when people are like, "Oh, let's remake The Matrix," which they are doing, by the way, they're remaking the first Matrix. They're not even doing they don't even have the decency to do the sequel that's technically a reboot that Star Wars and Jurassic Park are doing. No, they're just retelling the whole first trilogy because like, oh, they're retconning the whole first trilogy. I'm like, no, don't do that. The first movie's good. We don't need that.
Where there was an HD remaster, but it was just making the textures look not as bad as they were on the PS2, because it looked amazing on the PS2, but the frame rate was god awful because it looked so good on the PS2. And
now they have a more powerful system, so
you know, the idea that, you know, it's dumb to remaster Shadow of the Colossus, like, who is it hurting? Who is it gonna hurt? You still have the old one if you want to be all pure and stuff. But for people like Dutchy and for people who like me who are big fans, I really want to see Shadow of the Colossus done with, I'm assuming it's 4K textures. You know.
Well, yeah.
I would assume so.
This big push for 4K.
Yeah.
It looks absolutely spectacular. Like, yeah, we could nitpick about.
But then 30 FPS outcry.
There you go. There's the drawback.
Triggered.
I mean,
God damn it.
We can complain about that all day long. We can complain about, you know, whether or not it's a good idea or not. But it's for people like Dutchy who've never played Shadow of the Colossus. Now they will have what it may be the definitive version of that game. Amazing. The soundtrack will be just as good. It'll be a little different probably. We can nitpick about the fact, like, oh, well, it doesn't have the dusty ambience. It doesn't look as, you know, dusty as it did before. It's like, look, the reason why they did that is because they had limitations.
Yeah, they had to hide things. There's something. Remember that Spider-Man game we were talking about earlier? Pope, you played it, right? The old 2000 Spider-Man game where the what's it called? The cover up for the fact that there was no open world was that they're just, oh, let's put fog in the story. Let's put this fog in the entire game.
Well, that's what they did with Silent Hill too. Like,
yeah.
Silent Hill 2, the reason why there's so much fog wasn't because of the atmosphere thing, like, it helped.
Because render distance wasn't that good back then. It wasn't that good back then.
The HD remaster comes out, they remove the fog, and it looks like, oh god, like, Jesus.
But you know what game won't have fog? Minecraft 4K, baby.
Like, it just, to me, as a huge fan of Shadow of the Colossus, somebody who, like, I legit teared up when that game was over, and I think it is an important game that should be always discussed in terms of the idea of games as art. You know, that have something where it's, oh, there's not as much dust as it was before. They'll find a way around it. Maybe, like, in the sand area, it looks just as good as you thought it would be. But
we have very few games. We haven't quite hit the Citizen Kane of video games yet, or as every Tumblr blogger likes to put it. But when you have very close comparisons, you have games like Shadow of the Colossus, or arguably games like The Last of Us, which if it was shown, that would have been a segue, but it wasn't shown. Thanks, Naughty Dog.
Now, before that, we had something that was it's something that a lot of people are excited for, and I'm now interested into getting into the series because of it.
Yeah, a lot of my friends love it. Can I say this one thing about the Monster Hunter thing? I thought it was a T-Rex he was fighting at first, right? Well, it looks like a T-Rex. It pretty much was a T-Rex. But then for some reason, you know, like when its nose came out, when it looked like it glitched. I don't know why. It was so big and so abrupt. I'm like, was that supposed to be there the whole time? And then I saw the animation. I was like, oh, that needs some work.
It's monsters, and some of them are designed on dinosaurs, but those dinosaurs are designed in a different way. But there's also things like Komodo dragon-like things and pterodactyls.
Actual dragons and all various sorts of things.
Exactly. So from what I've seen and from what I've heard, it looks like this game, a lot of people were scared that it was going to casualize Monster Hunter because it's changed quite a few things. But from what people have seen of a leaked game demo and the press who got a chance to look at it, they say that it does change some things, but apparently it's pretty much the same Monster Hunter that, you know, like they know and love.
Yeah, from what my friends tell me of it, it's just boss battles the RPG. Even though RPGs are kind of like, this is the definitive boss battles the RPG, pretty much.
So I'm getting, you know, I'm guessing none of us have played Monster Hunter because I haven't.
Nope.
No, I haven't.
I have not.
Have a good opinion on it, but
we
what
can't
are
say
your impressions
much
on it? Like Dmaster, what's your impression of what you saw of Monster Hunter World?
It looked interesting. I like the idea of it. I mean, people in the comments like, you freaking pleb, you don't know anything. Why are you speaking? But I don't know, man. Maybe it's my first round of Monster Hunter, man. Just get off my back, man. It looked cool. I liked it.
I think that's the whole point of it. It's supposed to be sort of a new entry for new players, and somebody, I'm assuming if anybody who plays Monster Hunter just heard that, they just legitimately squirmed in their seat or got angry at me. It's like,
they're just like, ugh, don't touch my thing that everyone, like, I liked it when only I knew about it. Why is anime mainstream? I liked it when only I knew about it from. I liked it when only I knew about it from Toonami days, man. Bring those back.
But I get it because you don't want your game series to, like, let's say this becomes incredibly popular, and let's say it was severely casualized, then that would become the mainstream game that they would have to play from there on, and that's not what they want.
Reminds me of a certain World War II shooter that used to be respected, but now has become the gaming equivalent to the Transformers series. Oh, Segway? Segway?
Oh, no.
Remember when I said earlier of trailers that don't actually show gameplay? This is what I was building up to. Because all the fanboys... Oh my god, World War II looks so great. Oh my god. I'm like, what? There was no gameplay. Okay, this comparison might be a little bit vulgar. And yes, Pixar, we lost them already at this point. So,
they're a little bit gone now.
At this point. So basically, the little bits of gameplay that were shown, like little cuts to actual FPS view, are like, say you're chatting up a girl, right? And she's like, hey, I'll send you a nude. And what she sends you is just a really zoomed in picture of a nipple. You didn't see her naked. You saw a nipple, but you're getting hyped as if you saw an actual nude. That's what this trailer was.
Probably the weirdest fucking comparison,
but it made sense, did it not?
It made sense.
But it made sense.
It
makes sense. Oh boy.
People love this show already. I can
and
tell,
we
man.
lost him.
Oh. I mean, what's it called? I'm gonna put a quote. I'm gonna put future Davon or whoever edits this. Future whoever edits this, probably me because why
it's
not?
you. Happy Merry Christmas.
Future Davon.
Do you really want to trust me?
First episode. It's only gonna be 30 minutes on screen. Checks timestamp. It's almost 2 hours.
2 hours.
Alright. Alright, so let's I wouldn't say let's end it, but let's start.
Let's try to close it up now.
Yeah. So we had Days Gone, and that one looks like every generic
zombie thing ever. Yes.
person game that came out around 2010.
No, my legit reaction was, oh, State of Decay got a sequel.
Yeah. And State of Decay is actually getting a sequel.
I don't know,
shit.
I think I like the idea. My friend Lewis brought it up that the zombies aren't an obstacle for you, but rather it looks like they're still a threat, but it's more how do you use the waves and waves of zombies to your advantage. And that's a really interesting way to make to tackle the zombie genre, I think.
I'm just like, another zombie game. I don't need one. I have Dead Rising. I can just beat zombies up with a pink dildo. Why do I need this?
And then the first one shown was Uncharted: The Lost Legacy, where because of the audio, I actually did not hear anything they said.
Oh, no, nobody did. No, nobody did. It's okay. Nobody did.
I think we can all just agree it'll be a solid game. Whether or not it'll be amazing or great, that's up to discussion, but it'll pretty much be a solid game that looks fantastic. It has two of the characters. It has like the character that a lot of people really like with Chloe. It'll most likely just play exactly the same where it's, solid, good foundation for a game. So I think the worst I think it'll get is like a 7.5.
Yeah.
It'll definitely be solid. I mean, Naughty Dog hasn't really made like a bad game. I think the weakest game they've ever put out was like Jack 3, and even that wasn't like terrible.
Yeah. So we can pretty much confide in them to make something good.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like I said, lowest 7.5, maybe 8.
Well, I guess that wraps up our fantastic 2-hour podcast.
Not yet.
Oh no.
Oh no.
Oh shit.
Oh snap.
Denied.
Oh snap. He said we finished. She said no, we ain't finished, man.
Hold it on us.
We ain't finished yet. What I want to do is I think we should all talk about like this E3 and how everybody's reaction was to it. Because I got the impression that a lot of people were disappointed with this year's E3.
I understand it. I do, but I don't get it. I think the only thing that was missing from E3 was the theatrics of it. Like, yeah, they was like, oh, games, boom, 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 boom. Like it. Basically, it's like you're watching a string of commercials, and it wasn't like a convention. But then, like, my thing with E3 is that say you're like a Comic-Con, like that whole vibe. I really want to go to Comic-Con one day. That's like on my bucket list for sure. Like that whole vibe is like, okay, we have all these cool trailers, we have all the people out. Like E3, people expect E3 to kind of be like that for video games. What people forget is that E3 ultimately is just a big press gathering. It's a big press show. It's mainly for press, but it just happens to be streamed so people can look at trailers.
Yeah, definitely. Like, I think the other thing that really just made this one have a bit of a meh feeling to it was because last year's was so good. And
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, they showcased a lot of games too early because think about it. You have
literally everything was like early 2018 or 2018.
Coming soon, or
there was only like 5 games off the top of my head, not even, probably like 2 that were actually coming out like in November, like the Destiny and Call of Duty, which we already knew were things.
It was coming out, Mario Odyssey, yeah, Nintendo, yeah, Metroid Prime 4.
yeah, there you go.
Oh snap, fam! Yeah, we're really not done. I need to say some things.
The Nintendo conference, shit.
On Nintendo, because holy shit, they had Metroid Prime 4, they had Metroid Samus Returns, 2 Metroid games.
When was the last time there was even a Metroid game?
Metroid Prime,
When did that even come out?
Well, if you're talking about a real Metroid game, there's Metroid Prime 3 Corruption back in 2007, so 10 years. But then you have Federation Force.
No.
Yeah, exactly.
Not that one.
Yeah.
No.
Every Metroid game, Metroid Prime 3 was the oh no wait, Metroid Other M. Ugh.
We're just like
them.
both
Just
collectively. No. No.
For like 7 years. So it's about seven or 6 years since the last Metroid game title that was, you know, at least somewhat like a Metroid game.
Yeah.
And so we have Metroid Prime 4, no gameplay or anything, just a title.
Huh, but Dmaster, Dmaster Pope, you're forgetting. Samus has been DLC in every Smash game since like the beginning of time.
Oh god. I mean, I love Smash Brothers, but come on, it's not enough.
No one cares.
But then we have Metroid Samus Returns, which now it makes sense. It was annoying that fan remake of Metroid 2 was taken down by Nintendo, but I guess now it kind of makes sense because they were working on their own remake of Metroid.
Makes me question if we should even talk about Nintendo.
Yeah.
Actually, no. Just the entire when we say Nintendo, there is no actual footage of anything. We just put the word Nintendo, but like not even their logo, just written out on the visual.
Nintendo question mark?
Nintendo. The Japs. No, I'm kidding.
They're gonna call it or whatever, but the big one, the big showstopper, fucking Super Mario Odyssey.
For
Oh,
the
that looked
Nintendo
really cool.
Switch.
Yeah, boy.
Yeah, boy.
Amazing, and that theme song has been stuck in my head for a week.
Yeah, boy. Yeah, we saw the trailer.
Mm-hmm.
You're just like, kids. You've seen this trailer. You ain't leaving me alone on this here.
Alone on this one. I love that song, and the fact that they showed so many new gameplay mechanics that they could have shown last time, but they decided to keep it hidden.
I saw you tweeted like, "Yo, when are we getting the soundtrack?" I saw you tweeted that.
Thing is that somebody apparently was able to record because they showcased the main theme in its entirety at some event, and then the guy recorded it and then he touched it up and it sounds amazing. So technically that theme song is already out there.
Oh wow.
Oh no.
That was fast. Thanks, internet.
I have it.
But what are you guys' impression of like Super Mario Odyssey so far?
System seller, probably, most likely.
Yeah. The second system
Like,
seller,
if-
to be honest.
Yeah, you're right. Second system seller. I forget that Zelda actually carries the Switch on its back right now. I'm like, oh, it's only have one game. Yeah, but that one game is carrying the system right now. Just,
Yeah, that's pretty much how it goes. Like
I don't know. I just saw a T-Rex. I'm like, cool. I like this.
Like people were saying it's gonna be a new 10 out of 10 for Nintendo, because a lot of people consider Breath of the Wild a solid 10 out of 10, and then here comes Mario Odyssey, and they're like, "Yep, Mario's got it."
Yeah, Nintendo's been like they've been out there recently.
They've been doing pretty
People are
good.
like, yeah, don't doubt Nintendo. I mean, they're still content wise. I mean, support of content creators. You need to fix that, Nintendo. We're only giving you free promotion, but
No kidding.
Wait till our cease and desist of this podcast comes up.
Damn it.
nah. Then we just make the Nintendo the episode, 3-hour rant about Nintendo.
But yeah, so then we had the Nintendo press conference, and I think that was really like the last true one. I mean, there was the Devolver Digital one, and that one apparently was just bad.
No one cares.
As a sci-fi kid who literally has a Spartan as his profile picture, Samus was the original Spartan for me, like aesthetic wise. So I'm very much into the Metroid game. So I'm just like,
I have a question for you, Dmaster. Now that you mentioned it, do you like Halo? Because I get the impression that you really like Halo.
I mean, it's like
We gotta ask him up front.
It's a casual thing. I mean, I only play it like maybe once once a week because of school, job. I want to die.
Life.
But, life. But it's just a little side project. I do it on the side. Not often.
Not often, man.
Well, so
Not
if
often.
I were to say that, I don't know, Call of Duty Infinite Warfare is a better Halo than Halo, what would you say?
Kill yourself.
I would agree.
God, no, I would never say that in my life, and please do not take that out of context, people. I was joking.
He was joking. Just like all the other times. Hey, Pixar, remember all the vulgar things? Those are all jokes, man. You gotta read through, man. We can still do this, man. We can make it work.
All right, so we were talking about a little bit, so we'll close up on the note that we were trying to close on earlier before the Nintendo thing happened.
Before we just realized we forgot an entire conference.
So, what were your impressions of this E3, and what do you think they could do better for next year? Because what I got the idea was, like we were talking about, they announced a lot of the games early last year, and those games won't come out till 2018. So I get the feeling that 2018's press conference is going to be amazing because they have a bunch of new games they have to show.
Yeah. Because, all the people that opted out, The Last of Us, Halo, Titanfall, Doom, all the games that opted out, they're like, nah, wait. But I think, I don't know, I think it depends on how E3 is just perceived in general, to be honest. I'm not sure if that's what, the people whoever coordinates E3, I don't know, they're definitely not watching this, but it's like, do you want to make E3 more like a convention? Like, oh yeah, this is the gamer convention. Like what is that other than like Gamescom in Germany? If E3 is supposed to be like the American equivalent of that, if that's what they're trying to do, then yeah, work on like your theatrics and how you present. Stop having Phil Spencer in the Xbox conferences. I guess he's important, but he's not that important. But just I guess work on theatrics, make it more of like a feeling. I think this was the first E3. Correct me if I'm wrong. That was open to the public.
It was.
But ticket
they've
prices.
had attempts in the past where they had some sort of weird, like, compromised expo. I forgot what the name was, but that didn't pan out. Nobody went to that, so they just kind of flipped it back up to the press only. And then
Yeah.
This year they decided, and from what I've heard, it was an absolute clusterfuck.
I would imagine so.
I'm surprised that many people went with $700 tickets anyway. I'm like, man, bump this. I'm watching at home. I live in LA. Bump that. I'm still not going.
So, we have, Dmaster's opinion. Dutchy, what do you think?
Well, I know I said this before. I didn't get to watch the E3 conference, but from looking at it from afar, I had to say it kind of looked like a clusterfuck of just what is happening. No titles are being, really announced. It's all like, oh, coming soon, or oh, coming in 2018. We don't have anything ready for you yet. That's kind of how I saw E3.
Yeah, I mean, E3 is usually just showcasing what's going to come out the next year or later in that year. But you are right. This year just felt more, we have nothing ready. Here's a lot of stuff that's coming next year. And
it was like a hype train. It was like, hey, look at this. We have this. And
they were that... No, this what sums up the entire thing. They were desperate enough to put Minecraft 4K as part of the runtime. That's pretty much an indicator of how rushed this E3 felt. They're like, what can we throw at them? Minecraft 4? Do it. Like, didn't even finish the sentence. Just
Do it.
Alrighty, so do you want to close this out, D-Master?
Okay. Remember to subscribe to all three of us. Not that Core needs any more subscribers, but
yeah, I don't know.
I'm butthurt. Okay, so subscribe to all three. Subscribe to all three of us. If you like this actual cluster 2-hour long podcast, let us know your thoughts. What can we do better? Probably the first thing you're gonna say is make it shorter.
Without a doubt.
So yeah, that's really much it. This has been 2 Guys 1 Mug, best name in the game, and we'll see you if we ever upload again.